All right, a number of states have tried to ban sanctuary cities. Easier said than done. Usually courts step in, judges step in. North Carolina, the latest to ban these sanctuary cities that protect illegals and do little to serve them up to the law. Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott, not a fan of such sanctuaries, wants Texas to go the same route. Governor, very good to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Neil.
These are difficult, I guess, sir, to hold up in court, or at least they get stymied in legal challenges. How do you think this is going to go?
Neil, I think under the United States Supreme Court decision in the Arizona case, they were perfectly clear that states have the authority to ensure the safety and security of our citizens. And so I think that banning sanctuary cities should be upheld in court. And Texas is going to be one of the states that passes a law that outlaws sanctuary cities, because it's fundamental that law enforcement officers in this state must follow and apply the Constitution and laws of the United States and of the state of Texas.
You know, the one thing I've never understood about the whole concept of sanctuary cities is they flagrantly violate, to your point, Governor, the law. And they shield people who are here illegally without a law to support what they're doing. So it's weird. But how did it grow so out of control?
Well, it's been one of those things that's grown just a little bit at a time, kind of like what you call creep. And what has happened here is now the Dallas County Sheriff has said that she is going to apply immigration custom enforcement standards on a case-by-case basis. Now, just this past week, we've heard from San Antonio that the San Antonio Police Department may formally enact sanctuary city policies. So the state of Texas is going to be able to trump these local decision-making processes with a state law that completely bans sanctuary cities.
I'd be remiss in the middle of this not to get in a little bit of politics, if you don't mind. Sir, you've heard this back and forth between two of your party luminaries, Jeb Bush and Marco Rubio, over misvotes in the Senate and who's who. Now we got word today that Jeb Bush's campaign COO has opted out, that his campaign might be floundering. What do you think of all this stuff that's going on?
You know, Neil, I compare it to what happened 4 years ago. If you recall, 4 years ago, at about this time, Herman Cain was at the top of the heap, and then it was Newt Gingrich, and then Rick Santorum came out of nowhere to win Iowa. I think that we are still early in the presidential process. I think it is good and healthy to have so many candidates involved in the debate. And I think what's going to happen is that by the time we reach our nominee in the Republican Party, we're going to have a candidate who is polished, who is honed, who is ready to take on and defeat Hillary Clinton.
Now, of course, one of your predecessors is George Bush, and I'm wondering how that's all playing out in Texas right now.
Well, Texas has had so many people who are involved in this race. Obviously, right. Ted Cruz, who worked with me in the Attorney General's office, is in there. Jeb Bush is from Texas. Rand Paul is from Texas. Carly Fiorina is from Texas. And
that's right. That's right.
The odds favor that someone from Texas is going to be the Republican nominee.
Very good point. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention all the horrific weather and flooding you've been having. What's the latest? This latest hurricane could have been a lot worse, but it left a lot of rain, didn't it?
Well, it's not just that. We did have a bout of rain that left our ground saturated because of that hurricane, but now over the past 24 hours, we've had up to 10 inches of rain. That same area where you had the Memorial Day floods is once again flooding. There's flooding across the state of Texas as we speak. The good news is no lives have been lost, but I do want to cast this warning to everybody across the state of Texas, and that is listen to your local law enforcement agencies. If they declare to you to stay out of harm's way, remember, turn around, don't drown.
Very good point. People tend to be cavalier when they just see, oh, it's just rain, I don't have to worry. Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, well, this was the